नारायण जय गोविंद हरि नारायण नारायण जय गोपाल हरि नारायण नारायण जय गोविंद हरे नारायण नारायण जय गोपाल हरे नारायण नारायण जय गोविंद हरे नारायण नारायण जय गोपाल हरे नारायण नारायण जय गोविंद हरे नारायण नारायण गोपाल नारायण 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 जय गोपाल हरे
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। जब भी भागवत की कथा पे कहीं भी चर्चा होती है और उसे हम जैसे प्रेमी जन ऐसे प्रेम भाव से सुनते हैं, वो नित नई है, नहीं है, नित्य नूतन है भागवत। समय समय पर प्रभु भी आए हैं तरह तरह के अवतार लेकर. I forgot I have to speak in English. So what I was saying is that wherever Bhagavatam is spoken and heard by people who love the stories of the Lord, it is always new. God has also manifested himself from times immemorial. At different points, he comes in different forms, connected to that moment, what humanity needs. God has even taken the form of a fish, Matsya Avatar. Whenever we have remembered God, whenever we feel we need God's presence in our lives, he's always there in a new form. Just what we need at that moment. Like yesterday also I was sharing that God is always speaking to us. That is why Narad ji could hear what God's message was. Similarly, there is a very beautiful story about Shukadev ji. Shukadev ji, who's speaking about the Bhagavatam. It is said that when Shukadev ji talks about the Bhagavatam, it becomes a divine nectar because of his love, purity of his love. He was a totally detached being, so much dispassion, utter dispassion. To this extent that when he was in his mother's womb, he refused to come out. With great prayers, he was born ultimately. And very soon, when he was such a small boy, he wanted to run away from the house, run away from the ties of the world, family, home. He just wanted to run away. He was so detached and dispassionate. So when he was running like this, Vedavyasji, his father, such a learned man, but he ran behind his son, calling him, please do not go. You're too young. This is not your time to leave the comfort and shelter of your parents' home. At that moment, the Bhagavatam says that he was so divine. He was running, and the trees gave answer to Vedavyasji on his behalf. He was so much in oneness with the whole existence. He had no concept, he had no experience of him as Shukadev, as a body, separate from the whole existence. His oneness was so pure and deep that the trees could answer on his behalf. Such is the nature of the power of the love that such noble souls can have in their heart. At that time, what did Vedavyasji do? He was very helpless. His son was too powerful. The trees speak on his behalf. So Vedavyasji remembered Srimad Bhagavatam and he started chanting the Krishna Leela from Srimad Bhagavatam. Desperately praying to the Lord to help him. At that moment, Shukadev ji narrates that suddenly my whole being was caught up by Krishna. Guruji also says, no, who's Krishna? Krishna is one who just attracts you. You're choiceless when Krishna is around. He binds you in his love. So even a totally free soul like Shukadev ji got bound in the bonds of devotion. But these bonds are divine. They happen to the purest of the purest souls, because these bonds deliver us. So such a, in Hindi they call it Vakta. Vakta is one who speaks. Through him, through the Vakta, the Lord can speak. Such a Vakta is Shukadev ji. So Shukadev ji came when Parikshit was sitting near the Ganges, totally surrendered. Shukadev ji answered his questions. And that is the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. But first, Parikshit asked this very basic, simple question. What should human beings be doing? We have got up. We have spent a couple of hours in India. We are in morning time. What should be our daily routine? How should we spend every day, every moment, years and years of life? So Shukadev ji says it's a big tragedy that one gets a human birth. It is a miracle to get a human birth. You have to be very entitled. You have already done a lot of good deeds when you get a human birth. But what do we do? As we were sharing yesterday, that in our mother's womb we prayed. We prayed to the Lord that this time I will not forget my learning. But when we come into the world has its net. It tightens on us. And we forget. We forget everything, but we remember our worldly life. From morning till night, this worldly life doesn't let us breathe even a moment of peace. We are busy. We are all so busy. Good to be busy, but with what are we busy? How much time we are giving to things which are already sorted out for us. That's what Shukadev ji says, that we beings forget that all these worldly comforts, where you are born, what will you look like, what will be your health. Health to some extent we can improve upon. What will be your lifespan? Who will be your parents? How much wealth you will have? What kind of respect you will get? What kind of status you will enjoy? How many friends you will have? How many relatives are going to be there in your life? All this is predetermined. God has already decided for your lifetime. All this is already done for you. But what is not done for you? How much are you going to remember the Lord? How much time are you going to spend listening to the divine stories, chanting his holy name, chanting that divine name? That is not predetermined. That is in your own hands. But what is in our hands? We forget about that. What is already determined for us, we spend and waste our whole life in achieving things which are already achieved. And we are always saying this we will wait for. To take the Lord's name, we can wait. But I have to do this, I have to achieve this. Where is the time? So many people feel that only people who want to escape from the world find these excuses. They do not want to face the world and they want to live a life which apparently to them looks like an escapist life. But Only the strongest and the most intelligent can walk on the path, can accept this, can surrender to this truth that whatever has to come to us will always come to us. Nobody can reduce an iota of what we deserve and what we are going to get. There is no one. There is no one. Like Shukadev ji, there was no one. So trees are speaking. But we live our lives with so many personalities, so many situations, so many obstacles we see. Those are our excuses. I have spent many years of my life giving myself so many excuses. I have to do this, I have to do that. And effortlessly, one who is surrendered, effortlessly the things are just moving in the right direction. Like Gurudev says something very precious. He says, it's all happening. When you will see your life with a calm mind, you will perceive that everything is happening. What are you doing? So that is what brought Shukadev back to all of us. Thanks to Vedavyas ji, who narrated Krishna Leela to Shukadev ji, and Shukadev ji made Srimad Bhagavatam immortal. Today also, we come close to this and it transforms us. It transforms us like nothing else can help us. So Shukadev ji says the main purpose of life is we live our lives in such a way that when we leave this body, it's a very decisive moment for our next life. It's a very important moment because Parikshit is at that juncture. He has to leave his body in few days. That is why Shukadev ji says, we all must leave because we don't know. Parikshit knows he has 7 days. None of us know how many days we have, how many moments we all have. We are more helpless. So he says we have to live our lives in such a way that when we leave the body, we can remember the Lord. We say, oh, this is very simple. We always remember the Lord. We'll never forget him. But you need a continuous practice, a continuous happening of gift of satsang in your life. You know, satsang is the door to liberation. All this discussion that is taking place in Naimisharanya. And we are fortunate that we have been given this beautiful opportunity to listen to all this. Satsang brings a new dimension in our lives. It expands our horizon. So today Parikshit has been blessed with the most beautiful satsang. All the sages that were there have collected around him. And Shukadev ji says, only one duty we all have, that is to remember the Lord, to love him, to chant his name. Parikshit was a very powerful king. He was a king of extreme valor. Nothing could come into his kingdom without his permission. So much to this extent that when Kali Yuga wanted to come, he could even stop Kali Yuga. He could even kill Kali Yuga and not allow Kali Yuga to enter his kingdom, his domain. But there's a very beautiful story. But briefly, I'll touch upon it. But Kali Yuga seeks permission to stay in small parts of our existence, where people are gambling, where people are drinking, where people are lacking in awareness. Then the impact of Kali Yuga can come. But those who are aware, those who remember the Lord, Kali Yuga cannot touch them. Just like Naimisharanya Satsang, they ran away from the bad effects of Kali Yuga. So time brings these changes in our lives, in our mind, in our body, in our feelings. But the armor of the name of the divine is too strong, much more powerful. So Parikshit thought, what should I do with Kali Yuga? And he realized one thing, that Kali Yuga has one